Welcome to this tutorial for OMS Playback in Unity with HoloEdit Release 2020.1. The OMS Player has targets for web streaming and common game engines like Unity and Unreal. We will cover using the OMS Player in the Unity game engine. Basic experience with the Unity interface is expected for this tutorial. So you can follow along, we have provided an example OMS file exported from HoloEdit. This clip consists of trainingretargeting.oms and trainingretargeting.mp4. For this tutorial, let's unpack the example clips to a folder in Documents, Workflow, OMS Player, Training Material, and leave that window open for later. Once you have your files ready, let's get started. First, we'll use Unity Hub to create a new project. Create this project using a supported Unity version and specify a new empty directory as your location for this tutorial. Set the project name to OMS Player Demo and leave the 3D template selected. After the new player has launched, we need to add the OMS Player package containing the OMS Player and associated scripts. First, import your omsplayer.unity package file. And we'll make sure to include all of the contents of our package when we're importing it into our project. Now that we've imported the package, let's get started. First, we'll create a new scene for our example setup. We'll save the scene as OMS example. Next, we need to add our data to the Unity project. To add the OMS and textures, navigate to the Streaming Assets folder in the Project panel in Unity. You'll see there's a set of sample data provided with the package. We're going to import our own data to use with the player. Create a new folder inside of Streaming Assets and name it Training Clip. Click and drag the Training Retargeting OMS and Training Retargeting MP4 files from your Training Material folder into the folder that we just created. Once both files are imported, we're ready to begin setting up our scene for OMS Playback. With our data ready to be accessed in Unity and a scene created, the first step to being able to view our OMS clip is to create an OMS player. To manually create an OMS player, we will need to create and configure a game object to use. Let's create a new empty game object and rename our object Demo OMS Player. Next, we'll add an OMS Player script component to our object. This will create several components in our object in the inspector. We will be making several changes to this object. Let's lock focus on the Demo OMS Player object so it's easier to make these adjustments. Assign the skinned mesh material included in the package to the Demo OMS Player object. In the OMS Player script component, set playback mode to automatic. Different playback modes can be necessary for certain target platforms, but you should usually use automatic. Automatic playback picks the appropriate playback mode for your target platform when playing in the editor or creating a build. Expand the clips section and set the size to 1. Also check the Draw Editor label to make it easier to keep track of the OMS player in the Unity scene. Because this example is not going to use dynamic retargeting, we will turn off the retarget option under the OMS player script. This OMS player is now ready to be used to play back clips for our project. As an alternative to creating an object and assigning the OMS player script, there's a prefab version with these settings pre-configured that you can use in your own projects. The prefab is located at assets/arcturus.volumetric/prefabs. Now it's time to add our volumetric video clip. Expand the clip section. Configure the following settings in the new element 0 entry. Set the OMS file name to the name of the OMS file we added to the Streaming Assets directory with the folder location preceding it and the file type following. This should be trainingclip/trainingretargeting.oms. Set the video file name field to the name of your MP4 file, again with the folder location preceding it and the file type following. This will be trainingclip/trainingretargeting.mp4. With all of these clips configured, our clip should be ready for playback. In the current version of the OMS Player, playback cannot be previewed in the Unity Editor mode, but will be visible in Play mode and in Builds. Press play in the Unity UI to preview the clip. We can view our OMS files now in Unity using our first OMS Player object. You'll notice that the text on the shirt is reversed. The z-axis becoming mirrored can occur sometimes while processing volumetric data. If you encounter this, simply apply a -1 transform to the scale on the z-axis of your OMS Player. Let's create a simple build to share our OMS Player. To enable some basic playback tools in our build, add the OMS Player GUI script to the demo OMS Player object. Set the target player parameter to the demo OMS Player object. Also, let's reposition our camera to get a better view of this capture. We can check what the final output of our build will look like by pressing play again. You'll notice that there's a UI now visible in the play mode. This was applied when we added the OMS Player GUI component and will be present in the build. With that set up, from the File menu, choose Build Settings. Verify your current OMS example scene is present in the Scenes and Build box. If not, press the Add Open Scene button and remove any other scenes by right-clicking. Once your scene is properly assigned, press Build and Run. Choose a file path which works for you and press Save to create and launch your build. Congratulations, you've created your first standalone OMS Player in Unity.